Once upon a time, I was a kid, and so was my sister. She's 6 years younger than I am. In this particular story, she went outside to play, with her friend. And growing up, we lived in the type of area where everyone, like the kids, was friends with other kids on the block. And you would ride your bike over to their house. And so if you ever wanted to know where your kids were, all you had to do was go to the sidewalk and look down the street. And you could see kids' bikes laying in the yard. And you would know that's where they were. So, my sister scared the crap out of me. And I think out of my parents as well. But I'm great at making mountains out of molehills. So, I didn't take it very lightly. I believe it was around dinner time, and my dad was making food. And when dinner was ready, he called out. He was like, "Okay, dinner's ready, go get your sister." So I yelled outside, told her, it's time for dinner. And she never came. Because she had been outside playing with her friends. So she was in the front yard. And my dad went over and yelled out for her to come in for dinner. And she didn't come. And this happened a couple times. And she just was not coming. She was also supposed to be home by like a certain time. And she wasn't home by the time that she was supposed to be home. And my dad is the reason why I make mountains out of molehills, let me tell you. He's the biggest worrywart of them all. 1 second late, and he's at the door looking for you. So, you can only imagine what was going through his head when she wasn't home. No matter how many times we called her, she didn't say anything. We went into the middle of the street, and we were looking down both sides of the street. We could not see her bike anywhere. We were calling her name in the front yard. There was no answer from anybody. My dad got in the car, and he drove around and could not find her. So there was like a 30-minute interval where we could not find her. We were looking all over the house. We were looking in the backyard, the front yard. We were yelling her name. And I just had this panic. I was downstairs and I just started bawling my eyes out. I was like, someone has kidnapped my sister. And, I thought that I was never going to see her again. But again, I'm great at making mountains out of molehills. So I jumped to the worst possible, thing. And so I was crying and all this other stuff. And 30 minutes goes by. We cannot find my sister. And she comes strolling in the house. Like, nothing happened. She said she did not hear us calling for her. She lost track of time. She was 3 houses down, sitting in the front yard with her friend. 1, how did my dad miss that when he drove around the block? Two, how do you sit outside but not hear your entire family yelling your name at the top of their lungs? Aside from, she did not want to come home. I looked at her and I was like, man, you had me crying. And she was like, why? And I was like, because we thought someone kidnapped you. Because we've been looking for you for the past 30 minutes. And you didn't come home on time. And you didn't call or nothing. And she was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, best believe she was home on time after that. Especially because my dad was like, well, if you're not going to come home on time, then you can't go out and play. And if you do go out and play, then you have to stay in front of the house where I can see you. So, there's that. So I had like 30 minutes of like the worst thing happening ever. And I literally thought that she was kidnapped. But this entire time, she was just sitting in the front yard at her friend's house, 3 houses down. Three houses down. But she's okay. As you can tell, she has her own YouTube channel. It's kind of like a scary thing to think of, honestly. Because that was how we saw people, was their bikes. And so when you don't see their bike and you're calling for them and they don't hear you, what are you going to think, you know? I don't know. All I know is she better not do that again, because I was already freaking out to the max. But she was also like 6 years, she's 6 years younger than I am. So if I was a kid, she was an even smaller kid. So, I mean, you could see, like if I was 12, she'd be 6. Like, she didn't really, I mean, I'm sure she knew better, but I don't know. I just noticed also, because I'm balancing my phone on the pop socket on my laptop, so that I'm not holding it and moving it all over the place, although I'm still moving it all over the place because it's on my laptop table that I keep moving. And I glanced up at the video that I had just uploaded, and I'm wearing the same exact top right now that I am in there. It's comfortable and it's my pajamas. So, there's that. Okay, guys. Yeah. So, that's my scary in the beginning, but not so scary in the end story for you. So, if you guys enjoyed my little story, hit the like button. And if you guys would like to watch more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you've had something similar happen to you, or maybe something actually did happen worse, or and you feel comfortable sharing with it, I'd love to hear. So leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.